Hello and welcome to Sincerely Elvis Presley. I'm Sean. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by, and if you're not, thanks for returning. I appreciate it. We're still in 1969 and we've moved forward from the American sound sessions held in January and February into the filming of Elvis's last scripted movie, Change of Habit. Now, Change of Habit was bundled in as part of the deal for the 68 special with NBC. So Parker arranged that NBC would pay for a television special and a movie. So the deal was they got somewhere in the region of 1.25 million for both bundled together. So Elvis's final movie was almost a TV movie. It's got that, when you watch it, it's got that feel of a TV movie in it. Change of Habit was originally announced back in 1967 solely as a vehicle for Mary Tyler Moore. Mary Tyler Moore had had success on the Dick Van Dyke Show and with her own Mary Tyler Moore Show, so was a big celeb in her own right. And Change of Habit originally had been intended as a vehicle for her, and whoever they'd got in to play the doctor part would have been a kind of more minor kind of celebrity. The draw would have been Mary Tyler Moore. But as part of the deal with NBC, in January '69, it was announced that Elvis would be taking the role of Dr. John Carpenter, and suddenly it became an Elvis vehicle with Mary Tyler Moore rather than a Mary Tyler Moore vehicle. Also of note in the cast was one Ed Asner, who later went on to find fame in the Lou Grant series. But yeah, Change of Habit. This is my Blu-ray copy of Change of Habit. This is, as you can quite easily tell, German import, because it's called, my pronunciation's going to be poor, but I'm going for Ein Himmlischer Schwindel, which is Change of Habit, apparently. I don't know if the translation of that is absolutely literal or not, but this was a copy I picked up, and it's in English with German subtitles. There has been, over the last year or so, English releases of this. In fact, if you're in the UK, I looked this morning, and if you go on to Cool Stuff, you can get a limited edition of Change of Habit on Blu-ray with a set of postcards and a little poster as well. And it's only about like $9.99 plus about $3.99 shipping, so it's not much at all. But yeah, there's a couple of versions now that have the English language cover, and the menus will be in English as well. I don't know if it's a new transfer or not, but the transfer on this is pretty good. It's pretty nice and crisp. I've always really enjoyed this movie, but it's a strange one in Elvis's canon. I think, you know, once he'd been past the formula pictures of the mid-60s, towards the end of the movie career, you started seeing some very different roles. You've got Live a Little, Love a Little, Charo, The Trouble with Girls. They're all very, very different from the formulaic travelogues of the mid-60s, and this one is no exception. You know, Elvis playing a doctor in a basically run-down area of Harlem, and the various bits and interactions that go on there. It's a strange one. It's very of its time. There's a scene that most people that have seen this film will be familiar with, where he tries to bring out a little girl who's got autism with what was accepted then as a treatment known as rage reduction therapy, which now looks extremely odd and out of date, but at the time it was very much a considered approach that what they went through. So it wasn't something that they put into the film for the sake of it. It was a thing at the time. But it's a depiction of Harlem and the area, because it's got the feel of a TV movie. Elvis looks great in it, apart from his hair at times, which I'll get onto. But it's very. It almost reminds me of when I was a kid watching old episodes of Starsky and Hutch. There's kind of that feel about the way it's shot and the way it's framed. Yeah, it definitely reminds me of that. Almost expect to see Huggy Bear walking around the corner at any moment. But yeah, great to have on Blu-ray. You know, there's still only, I'd say, about 30-40% of Elvis's movies that have been released on Blu-ray, so much better to have the Blu-ray and high definition than a wonky old DVD, and certainly not a VHS. For completists only, that. But yeah, great Blu-ray. And I just want to show you a couple of books that cover Change of Habit. This is the FTD release that has been featured on other channels. As with most of my sharing of my books, I'm not going to show you every single page, but I will give you a flavour of it. But yeah, Elvis's hair in this. Now, that one, they decided to give him a side part in which he hadn't really had in any other film. You know, I think anyone will agree that Elvis's hair, from the time that he was conscious enough to decide to style his hair in a particular way, was fantastic. His hair was so cool. With a couple of exceptions, I think, you know, around the time of the shooting of Follow That Dream, and certainly the Potluck cover, which other people have referred to, I'm not quite sure what was happening with the bit of his hair that was sticking out at the side in a big square lump. I'm not quite sure what was happening there. I'm not quite sure why the stylist or even Elvis himself didn't say, no, that doesn't really work. It looks a bit like a cake tin you've got going. Yeah, very odd. That was like one misstep. For me, there was a slight misstep in the old follicle department in around 76, when he started wearing a sort of straight fringe, almost what we call in the UK as a pudding basin cut. I don't think that was particularly flattering to him, but other than a couple of very slight missteps, this was the man who had the coolest hair in the world. But it's weird in Change of Habit, because in some photographs it works, he pulls it off, but in others it looks a little bit odd. I mean, when you see him from the side, it looks great. I'll say, you know, it's Elvis, so you know, he could have his hair shaved or whatever, and he'd still look fantastic. But yeah, sometimes it looks. Sometimes I think sometimes what it looks like is that it's his standard haircut, but they've brushed it a different way, so it doesn't always quite sit right. But yeah, this is a beautiful book covering the entire production. Everything around the production, really in-depth and hefty volume, beautifully put together. I mean, it's an FTD book, so it almost goes without saying. Just yes, his hair, I think his hair looks a bit odd there. Being it says it's an FTD book, you get the usual CD, and the CD in this case is the Camden favourite Let's Be Friends. So you get some bonus tracks there that weren't on the original Let's Be Friends album, which I do have a copy of here. This is a US press of Let's Be Friends. So yeah, because at the time when this was released, you got Change of Habit and Have a Happy from the movie Change of Habit, and you know, this came out just a year after the movie was released. In fact, the movie itself was released in November '69, so when this came out in 70, those tracks were hardly aged at all. They'd only been featured a while. And the other two tracks, Let Us Pray, that was on a Camden release. I think that was on You'll Never Walk Alone. and rubbernecking had been from the American sound sessions that had taken place just a couple of months before the shooting of the movie. So yeah, what they give us on the Let's Be Friends CD that comes with this, you get the 2 other tracks as well as the original or the running order of the Let's Be Friends Camden album. So that's a nice little addition. But yeah, this is packed with information and photographs and a beautiful record of the movie. Speaking of beautiful records of the movie, I also have this one. So this is a Joe Tunzi book, and this is Elvis 69 featuring the Universal Picture Change of Habit. Now I thought I'd include this along with the Change of Habit book because it features the movie, but this does go further into what happens later in 1969. So it's a nice little overview. It sort of ties together what I talked about in my last video, the American Sound Sessions. That's where this one starts, goes into Change of Habit, and finishes off in Las Vegas in August 69, which, you know, we'll get to in the next episode. But yeah, this is a lovely little book and can still be picked up relatively easily. But I'll give you a little show of this one because, as I say, the FTD book has been featured on other channels, but to my knowledge, no one's had a look at this one. So I thought it would be better to have a more in-depth look at what this one has to offer. So we start with a bit of background of what had led up to 69 and the 68 special. Apologies for the squeaky pages. And then we move into the recordings at American Sound, and it gathers together the very few photographs that were taken at those sessions. And we get information surrounding the sessions. And there are quite a few, actually, pictures around the sessions in here that I hadn't seen elsewhere. Most of the pictures of Elvis himself have been shown before, but you do get a few more extras in and around the sessions themselves, which are nice to have. And the musicians involved, with and without Elvis. Then this moves on to the February 26th signing, sort of staged press signing of the contract for the upcoming engagement at the Las Vegas Hilton in August. Get some beautiful candids of Elvis around the time. It's him in his Beverly Hills home. And then we get Change of Habit. That's the sequence where he sings Rubbernecking. See, as I was talking about the hair, that one looks odd, doesn't it? So sometimes it looks okay, and then sometimes it looks a bit weird. You get another shot from the same session, and it looks perfectly cool. So it's almost like there was a bit of breeze blowing on the set, knocking it out of shape. Listen to him knocking Elvis's hair. Who the hell does he think he is? No, he always looked cool, as I say. It wouldn't matter what his hair looked like, what hat he had on. He could have a motorcycle helmet on, he'd still look cool as a cucumber. But I like to give you my unvarnished opinion. That's what I'm here for. And if you disagree with me, you can give me a good slapping in the comments. Think of it as sport. So yeah, this is a nice little alternative to the Follow That Dream one, because it takes a slightly broader approach to 1969, but while heavily featuring the Change of Habit movie in the process. think you can still pick this up for, I want to say, somewhere between £30 and £50, I would have said, which for a nice in-depth hardback, I don't think it's too bad at all. The FTD one will cost you considerably more. That is in well in excess of £100 now, I would have thought, to get your hands on. But yeah, nice little package, this one. Quite familiar photographs those, but very, very cool. That's, I believe, when he was visited by Mahalia Jackson. It was indeed. On the set. A couple of on the set shoots. And I believe we've got the Flamingo. So that's Change of Habit. And we're moving to the Flamingo Hotel, June the 10th, 1969. Elvis and Mr. Tom Jones. I mean, Tom's clearly thinking, how is this guy so cool? How does he do it? Because just look. I mean, even look, he's even standing so his shadow looks cool. Wow. Nice little record of their meeting on that date. I think what I'm going to do is, for this video, I'm going to go as far as these Tom Jones photographs. Oh, we've got some more muslin in there. I think it says one of them was Tom Jones' drummer at the time. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go as far as the engagement in August 69, because we're going to take an in-depth look at Elvis live in 69 in the next episode. So I think I'm going to go forward. We've got opening night. Right, we're now at the. I'll give you a peek, but I think we'll. There's a fair few books that cover Elvis in Vegas in 69, which I want to look at next time, and I also want to look at all the recordings that I have of that season. So I don't want to show you too much of 69. Not that you won't have seen a lot about that season anyway, but let's just do it. You can't get enough of Elvis in 69. I wasn't gonna flip through and show you these, but I just thought I can't not share these. How can I not share these? Elvis in 69, untouchable. But we will go into more depth in the next episode. But it seems churlish to not show you what this particular book has to offer, particularly anyone thinking of picking it up. It's great. You know, one of Tunzi's best, I think. And there's the very familiar press conference afterwards, which I'm sure you'll have all seen plenty of photographs from. Yeah. Highly recommend this one. And as I say, relatively easy to pick up. You can't. You find me a bad photograph of Elvis from this engagement in 69. It can't be done. He just looked phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And there we go. So there you have it. Elvis 69 featuring the Universal picture Change of Habit. Well worth picking up. So that's Change of Habit. As I said, next time we're gonna move on and delve into the live comeback at the International. I hope you enjoyed that little look at Change of Habit, and if you did, please click the like button and consider subscribing if you want to see more from me in the future. It's one of the only things in this world that's absolutely free and has no commitment attached at all. I upload new content every Sunday at 6 PM GMT, so you'll always know when to find me. As I said, next time we're going to move on to the International Hotel in August 1969. Till then, take care. Ta-da.
We'll meet you again. May God bless you. Adios.